Procreation is a necessity for every creature, whether domestic or wild. The zookeepers at the Metro Richmond Zoo were overseeing the delivery of one of the favorite cheetahs in the zoo. When her labor was due, she gave birth to two adorable cubs. But then, something totally unexpected happened after that. Stay till the end to find out. Cheetahs are unique animals, even amongst the cat family. These wild cats are the fastest land animals, but despite their impressive speeds, they are currently in danger of extinction due to poaching. This is why many animal intervention groups and shelters are now working together to find a way to preserve the cheetah population. It was through one of these cheetah intervention programs that something extraordinary was witnessed, which we'll share in this video. Animal births are always a joy to any zoo or animal preservation center. But the situation is even more joyful when it involves endangered species like cheetahs. Also, cheetahs don't randomly mate or reproduce like other animals. These unique hunting cats are known to have a particular pattern that has been passed down from generation to generation. Female cheetahs are always picky about their mates. A female cheetah may decide to forego giving birth if she doesn't like the available male. It doesn't matter if that male is the only male in the jungle. Zoo and sanctuary keepers are tasked with choosing the best mates for cheetahs to ensure the continuity of the species. The female cheetah in this story follows the same old mating pattern. Milani lived in the Metro Richmond Zoo and was a beautiful, intelligent 3-year-old cheetah. Ideally, she was ripe enough for mating and reproduction, so the zookeepers tested her with potential mates. They tried pairing her with one of the most sought-after male cheetahs in the zoo, but Milani turned him down in the usual picky cheetah fashion. They tried to give Milani time to see if she would grow to like the male, but she didn't seem interested in him, even after 6 weeks. The keepers realized the situation wasn't improving as hoped, so they introduced her to a new male. As luck would have it, their next male pick, Ketu, was favorable in the eyes of Milani. Ketu was a good-looking 6-year-old cheetah who had already fathered one cub. It didn't take Milani too long to like the 6-year-old male cheetah. It was like love at first sight. The two cheetahs quickly became best buddies. They would nap together and play with each other as often as they could. They were almost inseparable. The zookeepers were overjoyed to see this turnout of events. Their precious cheetah had found a partner she liked, and it was only a matter of time before she came pregnant. Although Ketu already had experience being a parent, Milani was entirely new to the world of parenting. This would be her first time being a mother. For this reason, the zookeepers paid extra attention to her. Around July of that same year, the staff noticed some exciting changes in Milani. Her feeding habits suddenly changed, and her behavior slowly shifted from the norm. Something was going on with Milani, and they were all suspecting one thing: pregnancy. But, to be sure, they had to run a medical test. Thankfully, their suspicions were true. Mila was pregnant. A few months after this discovery, the zookeepers started to plan for the arrival of Milani's babies. For a cheetah, the average gestation period is 92 to 98 days, so Milani's keepers knew they needed to act fast. They created a nice and cozy pen for Milani to serve as her delivery room or theater. They wanted to ensure she had a smooth experience, since it was her first time. They made the flooring with very comfy materials. The keepers also installed a camera to capture any special moments and provide a means for monitoring Milani in case anything went wrong. You see, just like in humans, we can't predict what will happen during delivery. Even if all the preparations for successful childbirth are implemented, there's no assurance that everything will go as planned. Moreover, predicting a cheetah's special delivery day is almost impossible. On the 19th of September, Milani started exhibiting some strange behaviors. One of the first things the zookeepers noticed was how restless she became. Milani started pacing up and down. Eventually, a few minutes past 3 a.m., Milani entered the special pen made for her to begin her long-awaited ordeal of childbirth. The zookeepers watched the exciting events unfolding before them with racing hearts and silent prayers. Their beloved cheetah was going to be a mom soon. Inside the pen, Milani was still pacing around, looking for the perfect spot to lay down and give birth. at around 4:23 a.m., Milani finally gave birth to her first cub. Immediately, it was born. The cheetah cleaned it up and started showering it with some motherly affection. One look at this cub, and everyone could tell that it was a healthy fellow. The zoo staff became ecstatic at this. It was a safe and sound delivery for Milani, and her job was done, or so they thought. But just as they were about to leave their observation room to bring in the new cub for a medical checkup, something shocking and yet very pleasant happened in Milani's delivery room. It was Mila. She was delivering another cub. After licking the first cub clean, the cheetah began pacing around the pen again, as she had done before. One interesting thing about Milani was that as she paced the room restlessly, she still made sure not to step on her cub. About an hour later, at 5:22 a.m., she gave birth to another beautiful cub. She cleaned it up nicely, just like she had done with the first one. The second cub was breathing fine, showing all the signs of life. Milani gently carried the cub with her mouth and placed it beside its sibling. After that, she laid down to rest. The zookeepers continued to watch Milani through the camera. However, they couldn't hold back their joy. Shortly after Mila's delivery, they happily broke the news on social media that Milani had given birth to 2 cubs. Meanwhile, amidst all this excitement, no one would expect the surprise waiting for them in the next couple of hours. And so imagine the shock on every staff's face when they realized that Milani was not done delivering her cubs. She was only starting. At around 7:20 a.m., Milani got up and started pacing again, as the first 2 times. This sure meant that she was going to give birth to another cub. She gently carried the first 2 cubs to another part of the pen so she wouldn't sit on them or step on them during her ordeal. When the cubs were safely out of the way, she waited patiently for her contractions to start. Shortly after, within 10 minutes, Milani gave birth to the 3rd cub. She cleaned it up too, and then laid down again to rest. Everyone watching her at that moment almost went crazy with joy and astonishment, but Mila still had more babies within her. At about 10:05 a.m., 3 hours after the birth of her 3rd cub, Milani gave birth to the 4th cub. The number of babies she gave birth to was unexpected, but still, the real shocker was how she managed to maintain long intervals between births. It was quite strange. The zookeepers began to worry if she was having trouble with the delivery all along, but they were very wrong. It turns out that Mila was just saving her strength. At about 11:34 a.m., dropped another surprise for her keepers. She delivered her 5th cub. Mila had broken a record with this 5th litter. She was now nothing short of a miracle mother. The average litter size for cheetahs is 3 to 4 cubs. Most mothers even give birth to only 1 or 2 cubs, but here was Mila, defying the norm and setting a new pace. She mustered her strength to groom her 5th newborn, then placed them all together, lay beside them, and allowed them to feed freely while she rested. The staff let her rest. She deserved every bit of it. Spending 6 hours in labor to deliver 5 cubs was no joke. By this time, the entire zoo was buzzing with the news of Milani's miracle delivery, and when they had finally revealed her with her babies to the world in a cute video, it was a true sensation. Everyone who saw the video cheered for her. She was indeed one of a kind, and the bravest and toughest cheetah mom ever. Most interestingly, the vets on duty confirmed that all of Milani's cubs were in perfect health and would grow into strong and healthy adults. Milani's feat didn't just bring joy and wonder to her keepers, but also brought new hopes to the dying cheetah species. She could hold her head up high as the proudest, bravest, and most amazing mom ever.